Hello, everyone. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Headmaster's Homeroom. I am Lady Hamilton, and it is art night. I'm so excited to have you guys all joining us tonight. It's going to be a great one. We are having an amazing photographer here tonight, one of our wonderful Artist Corner family members. But I need you guys to do me a favor and hit those buttons, hit those likes, follows, and shares, because we want the whole world to see how talented our artist is tonight. And thank you guys. We need it, and we are grateful for your rant subscriptions, Cashapps, tips, pills. We'll take it all. We need it to keep these shows running, and I appreciate that so much, everyone. Thank you ahead of time. So welcome, Rumble viewers. Nice to see a lot of our Artist Corner family in the house. Welcome, everybody, to the show. Hello to everybody over there on Pilled. Nice to see you guys. Hi, everybody on YouTube. Nice to see you guys over there, too. And welcome, everybody on X. We got a full house going on tonight. Well, I am so excited because on Saturday nights, we do something a little special. If you guys don't know it, with our intro, you should know by now, I have an amazing group of artists that belong to my wonderful Artist Corner community. I am so excited. This is where you can find us so far. And I'll tell you what, every single day I get to highlight an artist, whether you're a painter, sculptor, poet, author, embroiderer, woodworker, metalworker, you name it. I just absolutely love it. And every single week, guess what, guys? You guys, because of your votes, and what your votes are is your likes, shares, and comments. That gets all tallied up. And that gives us our Artist of the Week, which we get to highlight on Saturdays. So here we go. We're going to give a huge shout out to none other than our wonderful Bob. Right? He was just on the show, everyone. So congratulations to our amazing Bob Getting. You guys can follow him on True Social and on X. I know he's got other things, but he was just on the show last week. And man, this one was the one. So everybody, please give him a huge congratulations. We love you, Bob. We love having you in our wonderful Artist Corner family. And yes, congratulations. You are our Artist of the Week. Super exciting about that, right? Everybody, make sure you are giving him a huge follow and a congratulations. That's right. I see that you guys are already sitting there saying congratulations. Yes. Thank you, guys. I am full of color today. Thank you, Cask. I appreciate that so much. All right, guys. Well, it's time now to introduce our amazing artist tonight, a wonderful photographer, unbelievable, actually, photographer. His name is Anthony Duttle. He is returning to our show, but I'll tell you what, he has a story that's rooted in beauty, legacy, and purpose. Raised among the scenic landscapes of southern New Mexico, Anthony discovered his passion for photography early on, capturing the natural world through a lens that would stay with him for years to come. Even as he pursued a career in agriculture, his photography can be seen in multiple publications in that field as well. Anthony has also expanded into a multi-spectrum photography, revealing extraordinary details beyond what the human eye can see, offering a fresh perspective on hidden beauty all around us. Tonight, he's going to get us to be motivated to look up, look around, and capture the beauty that God creates. So everybody, please welcome to the stage, Anthony Duttle. Hello, my friend.
Hey, how are you doing?
I am doing great. What is going on behind you? That is awesome.
Oh, that's the plains of San Augustine.
Wow.
Love the ability to go and play with the backgrounds in there. That's very cool.
Right? That's why I love this. One of the reasons I love this platform with StreamYard, because you guys, we can play with our backgrounds. We can play with lots of different things, but that is so cool because I'm sure that's one of your photos, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's,
of course it is.
That's for those of you who go to New Mexico or know New Mexico, that picture was taken at the VLA, a very large array antenna system. And I was standing on one of the tracks when I took the picture for that. So that's, again, that's, I don't know if you can see it. There it is.
Yes.
But that's one of my favorite. That the storms in New Mexico are just awesome. I love getting out and like we were talking about, those multispectral cameras just do phenomenal at capturing the detail in the cloudscape. So it's very cool.
Right. Oh, I love that part of the, I used to live in northern Arizona for quite a while too when I was raising our young kids, and you would see some amazing sky. You would see some amazing weather. You're absolutely right. That part of the world is really magnificent, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're at a high altitude, and just by virtue of that, the atmosphere is different, and it gives you different lighting effects, and just it's a different thing. And by the way, that is a colorful blouse. By the way.
Oh, thank you. I'm in a colorful mood today. Ever since I woke up and started posting stuff on there, I mean, I'm ready for the beach. I'm ready
Yeah.
for
There you
summer.
go.
So
And,
I hope I'm not blinding everybody tonight.
yeah. No, we're good. We're good. I also wanted to give a shout out to Bob. That cat painting was awesome. Very
Right?
cool. Yeah.
Isn't it? That's Skanky the cat. If you guys don't know that, that is Skanky the cat. And he doesn't even have a cat, but he created this cat and he brings him out, especially during the fall. And I have bugged him about writing a book because he has so many wonderful pictures and paintings about that. I think he's actually going to do it. So we talked about that a lot. But isn't he's a fantastic artist, and we love having him. Well, I love having all of you guys. So, but
there's so much talent in that group. I mean, there's some phenomenal artists there. Both photography, painting, sculptures. Some of the stuff that comes out there is really cool,
isn't it? I just invited, and he just joined. So I'm hoping, but he is a leather. He works with leather, and I happened to see him on Truth, and I'm like, you need to come and show off your work in the artist corner because I mean, there's so many ways to create art. And it's that's what I love about our group, because we see so many wonderful artists of all different kinds, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're making music or you're creating something out of wood on a canvas, with a camera, on a table. I mean, I've seen people, whatever you guys do, but it's just so awesome. And you're right, we have one heck of a talented group, don't we? And you are one of them. You are one of them. So.
I just enjoy seeing the world and trying to catch what I see.
That's right. You are going to totally inspire us today to look around, because I think so many people are plugged in that sometimes we forget to, look at our surroundings. And if you've got a phone or a camera or whatever, take time to capture that moment. And I know that we've talked about this, that throughout your career, sometimes you take the longer journey because, whether you're going somewhere, you're like, stop.
Yep. Always. You have to. So, it's funny because when here in the last year or two, I've just been, I own my own business, and I'm, a small businessman, and, kind of the paycheck depends on how hard you can work from A to B. Right. And so it's last year or so, it's been kind of crazy. And, I haven't picked up my cameras as much as I like, but the thing about it is when you pick up the cameras, for me, it's like getting in the zone, and I just everything gets turned off in terms of tuned out. I'm focused exclusively on what I'm trying to see. And you kind of get into this zone where you're looking at the world around you very, very closely, and catching that, and that's something I haven't been doing enough lately. And the other part of it is my personal life. My wife has been going to school here for the last couple of years, and it's been a very intense program. And so she's going to be getting out soon, and I'm really looking forward to kind of having more of her time so we can go out and share some of that stuff. So,
right. What is she working towards?
She was in dentistry for almost 30 years, and has started getting issues with her wrists that made that kind of difficult. So she decided to back out and go into nursing.
Nice, smart. That's what my husband is. It's smart. A few days a week, you make some really good money, and it's a place that, well, dentistry is too, but it's definitely something that is in high demand.
Yeah, definitely. And,
right.
Yeah. It definitely in high demand. That's for sure.
That's right. You can go anywhere around the world because they need nurses so bad. But congratulations to her. That is an amazing field. I remember helping my husband study for that. The reading is unbelievable, so congratulations to her for that pathway. So, one thing I was thinking about though too is with you working so hard, how many moments have you just kind of missed going, dang it, I wish I would have had my camera for that?
Oh, I couldn't tell you. It's just one of these things where you really, when I do my best photography, it's like I just shut everything down and it's like playing golf. You're going to be gone for the day, and
right.
That's when that's when I and kind of what you see in my photography is what you get. That's what you see is what I'm looking at. It's not doctored. It's not post-shot editing, anything like that. I'll monkey around with my camera and adjust my camera to kind of get what I'm looking at with the composition, the lighting, the shutter speed. All that stuff is it's part of the fun of doing that, right? Is manipulating that. And then you step back and you look at your picture and go, wow, that came out really good.
Right.
Or 9 times out of 10, and then you get the good ones and you go, ooh.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, putting together your portfolio for tonight really inspired me to start pulling through a lot of different flash drives throughout the years going, there's some amazing shots that I don't think I've ever even shown anybody that I've taken throughout the years just by luck or by chance or these moments, especially in the northern Arizona area, and I was like, I've got to grab a few of those. But just, it just makes us all remember that, I always say that God's the ultimate artist. So, grab those times, grab those moments, even if you're not taking a picture of it, look up and see the amazing world around you because it sure is beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It is. It truly is. And like I said, it's worthy of being shared. If you can capture it and share it, that's awesome.
I agree. Well, that is an amazing intro, everyone, to his outstanding photography that we are going to enjoy tonight. Let me move my banner over so that we can all see this together. But please give him a follow. You guys can follow him on X at Eyes Above 13. Make sure that you are doing that. And you can also follow him on Truth at Eyes Above. Are you on any other social media we need to follow on?
Well, I'm on X. Twitter X, whatever you want to call it. That's the only other social media that I'm on. Not on Facebook. I got rid of my Facebook account. It's
right.
I don't want to be a participant in Project Lifelog. So
that's right. These are the ones that rock, and you guys see in both of our artist corners as well. So over there on Truth and on X. So I'll tell you what, you guys go and give him a follow. You will be truly amazed and help share out his work, and beautify these social media platforms. And, just tell him what a wonderful photographer he is after this show. And we've got so many new viewers here in our community. So you guys are in for a real treat. So here we go. All right. You get to tell us where we are.
That is in Arches National Park. And that's kind of if you get out, there's places where you can kind of get out and hike in that park. And that's kind of on one of the back trails where you can get that. And it's kind of going through there. And I like catching, the cool thing about that is the composition of the clouds is really what I was trying to capture in that whole picture. And, like I said, you play with those cameras and the lighting that you get out of it. The detail of the clouds is just spectacular with those multispectrals.
Isn't it? I'm like, look at that light just popping through in between those clouds too. I mean, this is just so good. It's amazing. I just love your photography so much. The perspective on this is also fantastic, right?
Yeah.
So the angle on this, are you on the ground? Are you laying on the ground? How do you grab an angle like this?
Well, so what I'm doing is I'm looking upslope, right? And again, there's this really cool, old cedar log that was there. And I think that might be a pinon, but it was the composition on it. What I was trying to do was was capture the lighting of that twisted log and having the lighting on the mountain coming off the, that cliff face in the background with the clouds on that. So I kind of found the right spot with the slope of the hill where I was looking uphill at that, and then framed it. The camera that I was using with that had a little bit of a zoom aspect to it, not a whole lot, but I was playing around with different lenses on that camera and got it to where I could get that the composition on that just where I wanted it to. So
that's
and
right.
again, one of the things that I did is I probably took 15 shots right there, bracketing around the lighting and just getting it just where I wanted it. So
right. And you have to do something so fast because that light can change in a matter of a heartbeat, right?
Oh, it's you have seconds most of the time, to catch the lighting just the way you want it, because it's constantly changing. And that's part of the fun of this whole thing, is that you have an opportunity to catch exactly what you're seeing when, in your mind's eye. And if you don't have everything set the way you want it, or know how to adjust your equipment at that time to catch it, then you don't get it.
Right. Oh, just absolutely amazing. What time of year is this?
This, I think, was in April.
Nice.
May, April. So it's kind of funny because I had knee replacement surgery in December, and kind of an interesting story. I have a good friend of mine who's a orthopedic surgeon in Meeker, Colorado. He's from Meeker, and he has worked all over the world, all over the United States, in some really big hospitals. But he's from Meeker, and he doesn't comply with the insurance agencies and all the medical industry that says you need to do 12, 14 surgeries a day.
Right.
Limits that down. And he does what he think he can do and do a good job on a daily basis, which is less than that, significantly less. So I had my knee replacement surgery done there. And some of the pictures, I don't think in this one, I think I've showed some of the other pictures that I've taken up in arches before, but in that time when I went up before, I had been out of surgery for 5 days, and I was hobbling around on crutches with my camera equipment in the ice. And in fact, I think there might be some of the pictures of the Colorado River in here with the ice flowing down. That was the day I took those pictures. So.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that is crazy. What photographers do to capture the moment, guys. Mad respect for that, right? Mm-hmm. Just fresh out of surgery with crutches, capturing magic like this. That's a great story. An absolute dedication to your field, my friend.
Yeah, my wife didn't think much of it.
No, I'm sure she did. She was probably like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, but you know what? Like I said, that is amazing dedication. Yeah. Absolutely beautiful. Tell us about this. I mean, I recognize this because of being around this kind of area, but man, look at how beautiful this is, everyone.
So again, this is another one that's in arches, and there's actually one of the arches in Arches National Park has three different arches that all come together, right? This is the backside of that arch, and what I was trying to do is capture the detail of the lighting and the way that this comes out. When you look at it in high resolution, it looks three-dimensional. And I mean, it's not, but when you look at it, you just, the depth and the depth of field that's captured in this picture is just stunning when you see it in high. I mean, it looks pretty good here, but in high definition, you see every little shadow on every little crack in that rock, and it just, it's a different angle of that feature in Arches Natural Park that a lot of people don't go around the backside and look at it.
Right.
And that's kind of what I was shooting for, because I'm actually, it's fairly steep where I'm standing, and I'm looking straight up into that. And you can kind of get a feel for that, because one of the arches is in the background in that hole. And it's if you ever go there, go around the backside. That's all I'm saying. Is sometimes you got to go around the backside to get a different perspective, right?
I agree. If you guys haven't been to Arches National Park in Utah, you need to, because it's well worth it. Any natural parks, I just really, if there's something in your area, go. But this one is just breathtaking because, like you said, the formations, the differences in the rocks with the striping, the cracks, the texture. It is absolutely beautiful. One of the most amazing places to look at.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh,
somebody
we
asked me what the fun factory was.
Right? They did. That was Frosty asking that. You can go ahead and answer it if you want.
Listen, the fun factory is life. You got to make life fun where you can. So
I agree. Cheers to that. I had another question. And what camera do you use? I know you've told me, but we've got new viewers. Will you tell everybody what kind of cameras you use?
So in this picture was taken with a Nikon D850 that had the sensor replaced, the normal visible light sensor replaced with the multispectral sensor. And with that camera setup, what you do is you filter out the light that you don't want. And so what I'm looking at here is an infrared spectrum of light. And sometimes I'll switch over and I'll go to UV. Sometimes I'll go to, I have the ability to go black and white, but so, I mean, these, when you do that, it's basically a monochrome image, and no matter what spectrum you're taking it in, it's a monochrome image. So it's either, black or white. But what you're doing, and again, I think we've talked about this before, and this goes back to faith, right? Is believing in something that you can't see. Well, this is a perfect example of that, because the lens, the filters that I'm using when I took this picture are pitch black. You can't see through them. It screens out all the visible light and all the ultraviolet light. So all you're seeing is infrared, which is not visible to your eye. So that's kind of what we're doing here. And a lot of the cameras, a lot of the high-end cameras that are out there, you can send them off and have the sensors replaced in them. It's kind of spendy. This one was actually, there's a guy in New Jersey that does these, and he specializes in Sonys, but this was the first Nikon D850 that he had ever done, and it came out spectacular. He did a phenomenal job on it.
Right? My heavens, just absolutely fantastic. I love it. And I see that some of you have been to this park. If you haven't and you're in, want to go on a trip, I highly suggest that, hey, go to the Grand Canyon, go up and hit the Zion area, go up and hit the Arches area. Just absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah, that whole area is, that park, I could have spent 2 weeks walking around in that park with my cameras and filled up a whole hard drive full of pictures. Right. And well,
it's a great way to see the age of the earth too, because I went there. One of my, when I was in taking my geologies in college, we went on a 2-week vacation, basically, or trip. As we studied it, and we got to see the formations, we got to study that. We got to see the layers and how many, years it took for this one, and how many, I was just like looking at a rainbow. It's unbelievable. And then the shells that are in, the area as well too. And you're like, oh my heavens, and it's crazy. And then you see these different formations and the arches, and then it's just something spectacular. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So where are we at now?
So this is so. And by the way, I think some of the images that I sent you this time, I jumped in the Wayback Machine. Like you
Okay.
said, I went through some of my old drives
Okay.
and pulled out some old stuff that's 20 years old, which I got to looking through them. I kind of wanted to go a little bit different direction,
Right.
but I wanted to go back through some of my old stuff and pull some stuff out and have a look at it. And but this is fairly recent. This is the Big Sur coastline in California, and these are out there. That coastline is so rugged in so many places. You climb out on the cliffs, and you're literally looking right down. I mean, you can't get down to the water because it's too dangerous, and you're dropping off a cliff in a lot of places.
Right.
But you can sit on those cliffs and look down in the pools down below you, and there'll be these cracks in the rocks where the water flushes in, and you get these really cool patterns where the seaweed and the waves crash in, and you'll get this foam that comes up from underneath, and that's kind of what you're seeing here. I was trying to capture that.
That is awesome. Absolutely awesome. And I'm just trying to picture you now, hanging over the edge, trying to make sure you don't fall in, making sure you grab this moment, right? Because
Yeah.
I know your stories. If you guys haven't seen it on before, I know there are these moments where you're like barely like, okay, I got to grab this certain thing, and I'm holding on. I've got the,
Oh
I
yeah.
am just
I think there's. I think in this one I had sent a couple of pictures that I'd taken from Niagara Falls, and security guards kind of look funny at you.
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. Just beautiful. I'm with you guys too, right? Just don't you just love the patterns of the wall? I love all the brush and the rocks too, that gives it so much texture as well, capturing this amazing moment. That is for sure. Right? Love the light and the wave action. They're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. This is a great one. Love it. Now, this is just so beautiful. And I would imagine, it's almost all the lights almost gone. And here we are just capturing this. I don't know how many would even stop to even think about this, but isn't this fantastic? I love lines. And I'm telling you, this is so beautiful. Where are we at, Anthony?
So I'm looking this up because this is a park in. Bear with me for a second here. I'm having to look it up exactly where it is. So this is on Lake Erie, near Erie, Pennsylvania. And this is a park that is right there. It's called Presque Isle Bay.
Mm-hmm.
And that whole island, I think, is the highest point on the island out there on this little jetty that goes out, is probably about 2 feet. And it's kind of like this big swamp that you're driving around on this island. And it's really kind of neat because there's kind of like a protected side, and this is the protected side, where it's kind of facing the shore of the lake on this jetty that goes out. And at sundown, it was just, the water was just like glass. And so you see that in the reflection of the water. And I was that looking through all the trees and the dead trunks that were laid across that, it just made that really cool pattern with it. And I thought that was pretty neat. Just the texture of it was neat to see.
Right. It does kind of give you a little feel. When you said Lake Erie, I'm like, yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You can almost hear the mosquitoes.
Oh, I bet. I bet. But this is so beautiful. And I agree. It's kind of almost like an abstract, in a way, for you painters out there too, because of the texture and the line work, just absolutely beautiful, right? That's the whole point of any piece. I think my voice and welcome is your eyes are just following all over the place, right? Isn't that fantastic? Fantastic. Oh, Cass was born there. That's funny. One of our viewers was born in this area. That's awesome, right?
Yeah.
She loves Presque Island, right? Really interesting environment.
it has a very cool feel to it to go out on that island or on that jetty, I guess. I guess that's what you'd call it. But
Right.
just such a neat place. It's very different, different part of the country and part of the uniqueness of that area.
Mm-hmm. I agree. So, a question. So this is something too, right? Um, I could almost totally see why this one. I don't know. Obviously, you probably have a color version of this, but I would look at this automatically and want to have almost a black and white. But the question, I love this too. It does feel hidden. Question is when do you choose your color versus black and white?
So a lot of times I'll carry a couple of cameras, and this was taken with a Nikon Z7, and has the same sensor in it as a Nikon D850 pretty much, and the same resolution, same kind of imagery. In this case, that was the only camera I took. It was the Nikon Z7, and this is actually a color picture. It was in that gray hour, kind of right after sunset, looking east, and so in this particular case, this is a color image. But what I'll do is I'll keep both cameras, and depending on what the setting is, it's like when I was living in California, up until here just recently, I bought a business and went out there to transition it. And while I was there, I was living on a farm, and I would step out my door, which was on looking out over the strawberry fields, and the lighting would just be absolutely crazy, spectacular. And one day I did that, and there was a rainbow that lit up the whole sky. And it was after a rainstorm, and the colors at that time of day in the evening were just spectacular. But when I took the picture, and it came out beautiful and colored, and so it's kind of one of these things where both of them are just really cool pictures. But the rainbow, when you took the picture with infrared and with the rainbow, the cloud effects with the rainbow in it was just both of them were very unique. So a lot of times I'll keep both, and because you never know what you're really going to get out of it. But sometimes when you have to kind of think in infrared when you're doing that, because after you play with those cameras a little bit, you can't see what you're taking a picture of, but you can anticipate what the effects are going to be based on what you're seeing.
Right. I just love this. And I knew that this was not a black and white because you can tell that it's almost dark, right? You're just at dusk, that last moment of light before it just is gone. And just right. And then I'm glad you guys caught the reflections too. I mean, isn't that just fantastic? Just amazing. This is what it's called an artist eye, everybody. I mean, we have so many versions of art, so we just put it as an artist eye, but this is what a photographer sees. It stops and takes a moment and goes, look at this, look at what I'm seeing here and how beautiful with the texture, the lines, the backlighting, the reflections, and I'm going to grab this moment of beauty, which it sure is.
The other thing too on this picture, when I was taking these, like I said, I always bracket around, kind of when I see something, I kind of bracket around to get the lighting right. And because you can't do that on a lot of times, you can't get the same effect in a dark room, or playing in Lightroom, for example. But I bracketed around this, and the color version of this, because if you crank this camera, you can crank it up to where you can see color pictures at night. It'd be almost pitch black, but you can choke those cameras down. You can open up the aperture so much that it's letting so much light in that you can take colored pictures almost in pitch black, which is really cool thing about those cameras. And so the color version of this picture looks very different, and it's not the same. It doesn't give you the same feel.
No, I'm sure it wouldn't. Absolutely amazing. We sure do love this. Beautiful, beautiful photo. Oh. Now I know some of these Tell us about this one.
Yeah, so this is the one where the security guard's kind of looking funny at me.
Right?
This is
You are
this
hanging over the edge, aren't you?
yeah, this is Niagara Falls, and I am standing on the second rung of a 3-rung retaining fence, hanging way over, and I'm looking at the back of the camera, and I've got my arm way out as far out as I can get it to get this picture.
Right.
And they're looking at me like I'm just absolutely bonkers.
Right. Is your wife holding on to you, or somebody
No,
holding on to you? No?
well, so I was actually on a work trip and had it's one of these things where you're going from A to B and you're stopping. So I was doing work in upstate New York at the time, and it's like I'd scheduled myself enough time to go catch Niagara Falls in the evening. So that's how this was. And the thing that I thought was kind of cool about this is the mist.
Mm-hmm.
Every instant, the mist changed moods in the background. And sometimes some of the pictures I took, it was just completely clouded over, and some of them it was the water in the background, the mist laid down, all you could see was the water in the background. So
Right. Man, I agree. That mist is something amazing. Just beautiful, especially such, a nice contrast to the rugged rocks right there. I mean, just look at that. It's like you could almost, not only can you see the mist, but over them the waterfall, you can see almost like all the little droplets of water. Look at how the light is hitting that too, and the splashing that's just coming up. This is fantastic.
yeah, this is actually a very choked down image of this. So, I mean, I compressed the images quite a bit to get them to where I could transit them to you, but the high resolutions on these, it's so much. I'm looking at it, and the high resolution is so much more clear than what these are.
Right.
Yeah.
They're over there saying that. Oh, just real quick on Pill. Thank you so much, Mitchell, for donating to the show. I'm going to throw that up here. He donated a can. That's they have their own term over there. But thank you so much for donating to the show. But he also says, well, that's what I call risk, and boy, was that worth it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Yep.
Right. Oh my gosh. That is just fabulous. Man, amazing. And we are really lucky to still have you, right? And that you just didn't fall right over there, or the camera, I'm sure you're holding on to that. You probably had it, somewhat hooked around your neck and stuff as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I almost cratered one of my cameras one time. I almost dropped it off a cliff. I was on Shiprock, New Mexico. Almost lost that camera.
Oh, geez, what you guys go through to capture these moments. Man, Anthony, you're a daredevil, but we love it. Absolutely love it. My gosh, so beautiful. Now, here we are in some fall. Look at that water.
Yeah, this is one of my wife's favorite pictures.
Right?
Yeah, this is in Medina, Texas, or just north of Medina, Texas, which is, you got to look on a map to figure out where that is. But this is about 12 miles from where my house is in Texas, and this is what fall in the hill country looks like. It's pretty spectacular.
Man, some of my favorite colors in the world.
Yeah, it's these cypress trees they have so much character. I think you've seen some of the ones where I've taken pictures of the roots, and there's roots kind of look like spiders going out over the water, and they look really cool on those cypress trees. But they're pretty spectacular in the fall. They look good, and I have some amazing infrared pictures of these little creeks like this from Central Texas. Lakey, Texas is cool.
Right.
It's a special little place.
I bet. It sure does look like it. You know, I can absolutely see that. And, you know, we get to take that journey with your wonderful artwork, right? Just amazing.
Yeah.
I should say artwork. You know, I just get in the habit, guys. I know it's photography, but it's still one of our favorite arts, right? And I love that. I think that's what I love about you guys, because you're always taking me on some journey to a place maybe I've never been, but I sure as heck want to go and see. And yeah, I have seen your photos of the very dramatic roots and so forth of this system, and it is unbelievable. Unbelievable. I love how that reflection in the very back is coming on to this, you know, this beautiful little stream, or so gorgeous.
Yeah, you know, and it's kind of funny because there's a little road in the background right behind where I'm standing when I took this picture. And the thing about it is there's very little traffic on that road, so it's really peaceful along this creek. And it's, you know, kind of what you're seeing there is kind of how it feels. You know, that's what I was trying to catch on this. It's just the feel of a, you know, remote rural area, you know, on the creek.
Right? That is awesome. Well, we have a fan over there. Welcome, Mitchell. Mitchell over there gifting cans and gifting shades. Thank you so much. And they have their own. Oh my gosh. Everybody is loving this. You come on anytime you want to, Anthony. You are. And we got Jurgen over there gifting subscriptions, you guys, because this is what we do here on the show, right? Oh my gosh. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Thank you so much for helping support the show. Man, we're going to have Anthony on every month.
Cool. Good.
Right?
Awesome.
Oh my heavens. That is really awesome. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. So I have a question, or not a question, but my voice pointed this out. She said, I love the balance of the yellow on one side, pretty much, right? And the oranges and the reds on the other, almost like it was split. It's just really interesting how that is, you know, just so defined. And I thought that was really interesting too, right? Yeah. Like the water divided the colors. Very cool.
You know, and it's kind of funny because it's random, right? The trees do their own thing, but in this case, I never really thought about that before in this picture. But you're right. Is in this case, it's not random. It's ordered.
Oh my gosh, guys, this is crazy. Sorry, I am listening to you, Anthony. I really am. But oh my gosh, Mitchell gifted an EMP. I definitely know what that is. Thank you so much. That is unbelievable. Thank you so much, my friend. Wow. Boom. That is unbelievable. An EMP is like $100.
Awesome. Very cool.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow. You guys are just phenomenal. You're going to make me cry. Thank you so much for supporting this amazing show. I'm so glad you guys are enjoying this. Awesome. Anthony, you are some serious great luck, my friend. Wow.
Awesome. Well, you know, the thing about it is you started this group a long time ago on truth. And I know that it's been, I know how much effort you put into that group in the Artist Corner, and, you know, the Hamilton Academy, this doing all the podcasts that you do. I don't know how you do it personally, but I think it's awesome. I think, you know, it's just you do so much for the community, and it's nice to see that you're being appreciated and recognized for it. So it's very cool.
I am just speechless with your guys' love, and thank you so much, because I'm just blessed for having the viewers, because the whole point of starting this really is to spread beauty and build community, right? I mean, that is the whole goal. And I just have the best community and the best viewers in the whole world. I really do, because they want to come and see what I have to say and see the guests that I have. And I am so honored to have all of you in my lives. And thank you guys for helping to support me. I appreciate it so much. Absolutely phenomenal. Let's look at another picture, because I'll tell you what, you just have an amazing eye. And this is one of them. I'm like, look at this.
Yeah. So Did you happen to include the infrared one of this too?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I just kind of
Okay.
grabbed a mixture of them because I think you sent me
Yeah.
more. I
I
know you
sent you
sent
a
me
bunch. I sent
more.
you a
Yeah,
bunch. Sorry. I kind of wanted you to have the opportunity to pick what you like. So
I
um,
love this.
yeah, so this is the Portland. So they have a green wall at the Portola Plaza Hotel in Monterey, California. And you kind of go through the lobby and go out the back door, and you look to your right when you walk out the back door. This is what you see at night. And
Right.
so this is the light. There's a light that's right above this, and the lighting on it is so cool because it's kind of the light is offset a little bit, so it catches all the vegetation as it sticks out from the wall. And I thought it was really cool. But
Hmm.
in ultraviolet or in infrared, this one looks really cool as well. I mean, so both versions of this picture came out just it's kind of a neat texture picture, you know?
Right. It is. And so I'm pulling up my email because, oh, that might be the one I have at the end. It almost looked to me, I don't think you put them actually together, but I do think I did include
Yeah.
it and it almost looked like a grate, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, yes, I do have it, and I don't have them together, everyone, but I
Yeah.
had to double check, my Gmail to make sure I had it. Yes, I do, my friend. So,
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't explain that when I sent them to you, but
it's okay.
I thought it would be an interesting just kind of see because we were talking about that earlier, right? Is what do you like doing better? How do you tell, right?
Right.
Sometimes both just come out fantastic.
So I can pull this down and show them so they can see the contrast. Give me 1 minute because we can make this happen. I may have not put them in the right order, but I was so fascinated. No, that's not the right one. Okay, so I am now confused. Explain it to me so that I know what I'm going to go look for in the Gmail. Okay. So I am, let's see. I'm just not seeing one that's a contrast to that. Let me look
Mm.
here. Let me look here. Okay, so nope, that's the tree. And I have that one. It's not the next one after it. No. So I don't know, Anthony. Can you tell me, explain? Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I do. Okay, okay. Hold on. You guys, this is on the fly. So I think I know which one you're talking about now. So is that it?
That's the one.
Okay. There we go, guys. There we go.
It looks like an atom bomb going off.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Man, that is so cool. See, on the fly, guys, I can make it happen. Wow.
See,
It,
in vegetation in infrared comes out very different, and the the different the different growth patterns come out as different shades of white uh, when you're looking at vegetation. So it really kind of gives a different aspect and a different feel to a lot of landscape photography. So, but I thought that would be, I, I, I didn't think about the question of the difference between, infrared or multispectral and black and white and color, but this is kind of an example of that.
right. And they are, yeah, I'm just trying to grab all of these wonderful comments and compliments. Thank you guys so much for your input. I love it. Right. Exactly. Look at the total difference. Wow is right. Now, which one, I don't know if you guys want to choose which one you like better, but maybe it's like them both because they're so unique, you know, just amazing. But you're right. This took all of that greenery out, and like you said, it looks like a bomb going off. Wow. That is phenomenal. Amazing. Do you have a favorite out of the two? Anthony?
I like them both. I mean, they're
Right?
both different, and
Exactly.
yeah, I like this one because it has a whole different feel to it, right? The other
Mhm.
one, you kind of know what it is. This one, you have to look at it, and even if you look at it, you really have a hard time understanding what it is, which is kind of the cool
Exactly.
thing about this picture.
And they're so different. You wouldn't even know that they're same thing, really. I mean, right? Because they just come off with a total different feel that you might not even recognize that they would even be the same picture. And like you said, would be even hard to choose because they come off
Right.
totally different. And that's what they're saying too in the chat. Too hard to choose. They love them both. Absolutely amazing. Okay. That's so cool. I'm going to go back to this one so you guys can see this. Look at this. Right? Totally different. Isn't that phenomenal? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Right? Exactly, guys. Exactly. Too hard. I agree. I agree. Love your eye. I love how you can manipulate to make it completely look different. Fantastic, my friend. Fantastic.
And that's part of, I people say that photography is, you can't, the the thing about photography is what the vision of the person behind the camera sees and their ability to catch that. And I
Right.
think to play with that and to kind of, like I said, when I look at this and I'm looking and I'm thinking about what it's going to look like in infrared, right? I have an idea. I know how that camera works and what different medium, what different subject matter is how it's going to come out with that camera, and
Mhm.
I can visualize kind of what that. I can't see it, but I can visualize what it's going to look like when I do that, and how to play with that camera on the settings to get it to where it comes out right. And it takes a few shots to get it to bracket around it because those cameras, but it behaves a little bit different than a regular visible light camera.
Mhm.
But when you play with it and you get the feel for it, then you can, it comes out like that one shot, right? And that's kind of how I wanted that one to come out.
That's right. Yes, exactly. He has a talent for playing and manipulating the composition as well. Exactly. Absolutely amazing. I agree. My voice. Phenomenal. Man, phenomenal. Right. This might be one of the photos that set me off today going, I need to find some water. I need to go to a beach. I don't know. It's stress-free Saturday. If you guys don't know that, we label certain days in our group. Today
Yeah.
is stress-free Saturday. And I was like, somebody take me here, right? Look at this. Wow. Where are we, Anthony?
So again, I think this is off 17 Mile Drive out near Monterey. It's near Pebble Beach, California, between Pebble Beach and Silmar. And the thing about this one is I sent the wrong picture when I sent this because I have another one where that boat that's right at the horizon is right in the middle of that bright spot. So this is I just kind of tinkering around with it, but that boat was going from left to right, and when you blow that picture up, you can see the detail in the boat. And I mean, you blow it up to the size of a wall and it comes out really cool because it's crisp and clear. And it just, it's one of the things about the quality of the cameras that they're making nowadays is that you can blow those things up and you don't lose. The more you blow them up, the clearer it becomes almost. So it's kind of cool.
Right. You are lighting up. So you said, I don't know about this one, but I can't grab the comments fast enough. You lit up the whole chat with this one. Right. Oh, this awesome, guys. I'm grabbing them. I'm grabbing them. Oh, my heavens. Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Man.
And the thing about it is the sun was behind that cloud.
Right.
And kind of gave it a very cool feel.
My heavens, didn't it ever? They are loving this. It right, guys. It's so beautiful. Just amazing, right? Breaking all the rules. That's right. As SLGRIB. That is right. Yes, he is. Just fantastic, though. Love it, they say. Man, beautiful. Incredible sky. I agree. And I know the boat's on the horizon. That's right, Nancy. That's why I'm sitting there going, I could be right there.
Yeah.
Be out on this water.
So the one that I use, I have a kind of a scroll on my screensaver on my computer. The one that I have the earlier image of this picture where it's right, that boat is centered right in the middle of that sunspot. And
wow.
That's when I look up, every once in a while, my computer will time out and I'll look up and it goes to this looping picture, this series of pictures that I put in my screensaver. It's kind of, I'll look up at that one and go, that's cool.
Yes. Yes, it is. Oh, I don't know. You can reach out to him. You guys know how to find him in the artist corner. If you want to paint something of his, please reach out to Anthony. You guys can find him in Truth at Eyes Above, or you can find him on X at Eyes Above 13. If you like something like that, it is absolutely fantastic.
And one of the things I was going to say is one of the artists here took that picture, one of the pictures that I had of
that's Nancy
Pfeiffer Beach, and just did a phenomenal job of recreating that.
She's the one that's asking again. So I'm sure, yeah, she did do a great job. And we have that picture to show you guys here tonight, I believe. I think I do. If not, I can look that one up. But she did do a great job at painting that, didn't she?
Yeah. Well, I have I think one of the ones that I included of that keyhole, this one has the wave crashing down and the water's cascading down through that hole and the light's catching it just right.
Right. Very cool. I agree, guys. This is very beautiful. Man, I'll tell you what, some of these days, on our Mondays, I'll pick a color. This would have been perfect for our blue day, right? That last one would have been perfect for our green day. Just take us away. Absolutely beautiful. And look at the texture in the cloud, guys. I'm just phenomenal. Phenomenal. Speaking of clouds.
Oh, yeah. Chiricahuas.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So this is when you go east of Phoenix to Globe, Arizona.
I know
you go. Are you familiar with that? You know where it is, right?
I know almost every part of Arizona. Yep.
Yeah. So this is on the road between Phoenix and Globe. And you go up through the Chiricahua Mountains.
Mm-hmm.
When you come out on top of you go up that canyon, and when you come out on top, there's a spot up there, and I needed to kind of get out and let the dogs run a little bit. And so we stopped and kind of hiked around this area, and the clouds were coming together just right, kind of right over that little lava dome there, which came out really cool.
That came out fantastic. Oh my heavens, right? Everyone, look at how beautiful that is. I'll tell you what, I may not be a lover of the heat, but I'll tell you, sometimes, the desert areas just come off with some of the most magnificent cloud formations. The skies, first of all, are just, whether it's night or day, sunlight, sunset, just really, really gorgeous. So, I just love this. They call it big sky country a lot, too, as well, but it's just beautiful. And I know this area very, very well. Spent most of the majority of, well, I guess not anymore, but a good few decades in Arizona, and just love it. Just love the ability, to capture what you see there. Fantastic.
I spent a lot of time, bouncing all over Arizona. There's some really, really neat places in eastern New Mexico or eastern Arizona, all the way from the Mexican border to Four Corners. And that whole, it's very different, but
yes, it is.
That's where the area to the east of where I took this picture is where Geronimo ran. And growing up in that part of the country, I knew kind of what Geronimo's history was. And it was, it's a different way of life back there. And, this is on near the San Juan Indian Reservation, where they had where they ran all the Apaches.
That's right.
When they rounded them all up, they put them on the Indian camps there. And but it's a beautiful part of the country. It's very unique.
Yes, it is. I have lived in, like I said, anywhere from Sedona up into the Show Low area. I have lived in Phoenix. I have lived in the Tucson area. I've been, I've traveled so many times up that beeline. I've been through the Globe section. I mean, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
I've also been over to the West Coast on your way to Lake Laughlin in that area. I mean, it's just amazing everywhere you go. You see different things.
Yeah, and I work for vegetable companies, and I spend most of my winters down in the Yuma area. And that area between Quartzsite and Yuma is just, there's some places to go off the beaten path there. And when I first got this multispectral camera, I was down there, and there were some big thunderstorms out there in the Dome Valley. And I think you've seen some of those pictures. I've showed some of those pictures in this forum before, and they're just amazing, just spectacular.
Yes, it is. Absolutely phenomenal. It's a great place, not only, like I said, with the skies and the formations and stuff from the earth, though, too. It is literally a geological record. I mean, it's unbelievable, how much you can see and study about our earth from this area. Just fantastic, from rocks to sea life to, formations to different levels. I mean, just fantastic. Absolutely love it.
One of the things I was going to tell you when we were looking at those pictures of arches is those were most of that's wind, formed by the wind.
That's right.
And the wind and the freeze thaw effects that come with that part of the country, but the wind is just, you sit at the bottom of that thing, and that thing's 100 feet tall, inside that dome, and you're sitting there looking at that thing, thinking about how much effort it would take for the wind to do that. It's pretty kind of puts you in your place.
Thousands and thousands of years. I mean, right? I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, probably a lot even longer than that. I'm just saying that as a thing, but yes, many, 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 many years to create this kind of amazing thing, and just little by little, and it keeps on changing slowly, because there are some serious winds up in that area. I mean, sometimes you can go for a month, 50-mile-per-hour winds, guys. I mean, it can get really crazy, but this is exactly why they're getting that formations. Really beautiful, really beautiful. All right, tell us about this amazing street.
So when you go between Salinas, there's a cutoff that you can take called the Loralis Grade, which goes up over this mountain to Carmel Valley, California, which is up the canyon from Carmel, California, which is on the coast. But when you come down this pass, this is kind of where you're coming down this road, and there's a canyon down below, which the marine layer comes up this canyon. And at this time of day, this was in the morning, and the light was hitting the cloudscapes coming through there just right. I mean, I'm right at the top of the marine layer, because what you can't see around the right side of this hill that's on the right there, that whole thing is just one big cloud off to the right. So this is the edge of the cloud that you're looking at that's creeping up this canyon. And the lighting, and I mean, the wind is blowing up this canyon, and the lighting changes every second. The lighting is changing. And so if you stand there, and unless you're really on the ball in terms of adjusting your camera, you're going to miss what you're trying to catch. And every second, the feel of it changes. So it's kind of a neat, if you look at the series of pictures that I took around this before, the mood of every picture changes. And this is the one that I thought was the coolest, that captured the feel of it the best.
Is this one of these moments where you just see this and you have to pull over and say, I've got to grab this, this is just something, that I can't pass up? Or is this something that you set up for?
Well, so what it is I when you have the storm clouds that are coming in, right? You kind of anticipate. So this particular place that I'm taking this picture, my wife used to work in Carmel Valley, and she would drive down this canyon, go over this hill every day to go to work. And so we kind of know what what's going to happen. But when you get the marine layer pushing up the canyons like this after a rainstorm, which is we kind of knew that this was going to happen. And there's a spot that you could pull off the road, so we knew kind of where to go.
Gotcha.
And what to look for. And when you're coming down the grade, we're coming down from above and stopping here and there on the way, but we're trying to get to the certain spot at the right time to catch this, because we know that the lighting is this. You see the marine layer coming up, and it's kind of one of these timing things where if you don't have the timing right, you're 10, 15 minutes earlier or later, you miss it.
Right. It's like, like you're saying with the lighting, you gotta, we're talking seconds here, guys, because in a matter of seconds, everything can just change. Just amazing. We did have a question. Right after that fog, I guess around that turn, Frosty wants to know what comes after you go through that foggish area.
So what you're behind, if off to the left over here, the road kind of goes up over the pass. And what you're looking at, so this knob that I'm looking at here that's on the right, if you can kind of go back around the other side of that and see what's coming. And when you look over there, it's just totally fogged in. And I think in the past, I might have shown another one, because there's on the opposite side of the hill off to the right over here around the corner from where this knob is, there's a white house that's on the other side of the hill in a vineyard. And the clouds, I have a picture of that where there's a break in the clouds right around where that house is. And all you can see is this white spot in the clouds. And it's really cool because you can see the sky in the background and the clouds above, and this white house that's in the middle of this cloudscape. And it looks really cool. But it's one of those things that 5 seconds before and 5 seconds after, there you couldn't see the house.
Right. The fact that you're saying that, because there's a movie called The Walk in the Clouds, and it's about a vineyard, right? And it's amazing because I'm wondering now when she's bringing them there and they get off the bus and they walk, and there's this view where you can see the house and all the fog and everything is like literally laying there. And I'm just, as you're describing this, I'm kind of thinking of that movie, and I'm like, wow. Now I'm wondering, did you take that moment from this area?
Well, so the thing about this is I have some other pictures I think that I've shown. I think the last time it came on, I had some pictures of the Salinas Valley, and that's where John Steinbeck came from, right?
Right.
And one of the pictures that I took in this vineyard, because we would go cruise around on the weekends and go out in the mornings and get set up and take pictures. And one of the pictures that I have, it looks like it should be the cover for a Steinbeck book.
Right.
I'll have to send out. I mean, because you have the vineyards that are kind of overlaying, the textures of the vine rows overlaying each other, and trees. You're bracketed by trees, and then you see the barn off in the background, and the vegetables in the distance. It's very cool.
Oh, I know. I bet. Absolutely phenomenal. Right? We are loving these, aren't we, guys?
Yeah.
You really laugh. Why are you giggling? Because I'm going to say, I just love this little moment, right? Just awesome. Well, tell us.
So when you live in Salinas and Monterey, there's kind of an inside track on places where you can go where there aren't that are off. So Carmel and Monterey are just tourist traps, right? Huge tourist areas. And this picture is taken at a beach that's in kind of a neighborhood. You have to know how to get there to get to this. And because it's Carmel and Monterey will be just absolutely crawling with people. And I would love coming to this beach because there's never anybody there. And when I would take my dogs so they could go run on the beach, and
Yes.
they'd just go crazy out there running on the beach. And the cool thing about this is that it's so much more cool than going to Monterey, right? Because you can go walk on this beach for half or 3/4 of a mile and not have to deal with all the crowds. And
Mhm.
this picture kind of captures the whole thing, right? Because it's so peaceful out there, and yet you got these huge waves that are pounding in, and there's really, this is kind of in a little cubby, and near Point Lobos Park. If you
Mhm.
look in the distance in the background, that's Point Lobos Park, and it's a state park. And that place, the cars line up on the weekends. On a holiday weekend, there'll be cars backed up 3/4 of a mile parked by the side of the road because all the parking in the park's full.
Right.
And I'm standing there looking at all these people on the other side of that bay. Like, yeah, this is awesome.
Right. I was just thinking of Point Lobos. It's a wonderful state park too, just a little south of that. That's not as bad. But you're right. Like as soon as you get into the Monterey area, yeah, you're 100%. I
Yeah.
really like in between there too, like in between San Simeon and through Monterey, you can find a lot of these little
No.
private little areas too. That they're just not
Yeah.
so people oriented, filled. I agree.
Yeah.
Just we're loving this, aren't you guys? I mean,
Yeah.
just beautiful.
The
Go ahead.
still, the contrast here that I was trying to capture was the stillness of the tide pools versus the violence of what was going on behind it in the background there. So
And that's what the audience is saying too, right? The crashing waves against the stillness of the tide pools. And I'm just trying to grab these because that's what they're saying, right? Symmetry is off the chart. I
yeah,
agree, right? You have something that's totally active, but yet something so still. Isn't that beautiful?
and those logs that you're looking at, the logs that are off to the left, the upper left in that picture, they're 3 or 4 feet in diameter. They just get pounded up on the edge. So
Just fantastic. Right, I agree, and I'm so glad you guys are capturing these little wonderful moments too, right? Even like the little reflections inside the little tide pools, isn't that fantastic? Amazing, right? This is just a phenomenal piece. How many of you would stop it? And I'm just sitting there totally trying to even picture you, like how low you had to get this angle. I'm like, you're most likely laying down, or your camera's obviously really low to be able to get this kind of angle, right? And it's just beautiful.
yeah, I mean, I mean, you play with that to get the composition the way you want it. I mean, sometimes I set my camera on the ground and
Hmm.
get it like that. Sometimes I'm standing on my tiptoes and I'm holding the camera as high as I can over my head. Just
Sometimes you're leaning off of the banisters, or, at Niagara Falls and more,
yep,
right? But that's
yep,
exactly right. Okay, exactly. That's exactly why you have such a great eye and you capture moments like this because of the effort, that you put into each shot. It's absolutely phenomenal.
yeah.
Amazing. Amazing. Now, we're going to get on to some of these here that I have never seen before. I mean, all of these I've not really seen before, but I've seen something very kind of similar. But I did not realize these were old because I was like, Anthony, you're made me so jealous. I'm like, did you just go on vacation? No.
No, yeah. So I actually did my international business portion of my MBA in Paris. And with that green spire that you see in the background is one of the spires in Notre Dame. So
I
this is in the Latin Quarter in Paris,
Wow.
and that's what you're looking at is the back streets of the Latin Quarter.
Amazing. You got to go to Paris for school?
I was
How
there
many
for a
years were you
couple
there?
of weeks. Yeah.
Oh, a couple of weeks. Okay.
Yeah. But I spent several weeks there, and it was really insightful because I learned about a lot about the European economics and kind of how that whole system works. And one of the guys that was one of the instructors was the French representative to the International Monetary Fund, which set up the euro,
Mm-hmm.
and he knew the European economic system inside and out. It was fascinating to get that perspective from him.
Right.
But at the same time, I the first day I was there, I think I walked probably 15, 18 miles. We got there at 6 o'clock in the morning, got to the hotel, dumped our bags, and I just took off with my camera and walked and walked and walked and walked and walked.
Mm-hmm. I'm very much that way too. If I get a chance to go visit someplace in a different country, I'm like, I've never been there. I want to grab as much as I can. I usually go for things, they're more ancient, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
like, look at the architecture here. Look
Yeah.
at and I just relish in these things were literally made by hand. There was no machines, and they're all chiseled out or whatever they were doing. And what a form of art in itself, and I just relish in that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so I don't doubt that you were like, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Absolutely beautiful. I agree, guys. It's just fantastic. I don't know. That's a good question. Donna wants to know, what do you prefer, color or black photography?
Well, so here's the thing: is I was trained originally when I went through school. I took photography classes. I had an older brother that was 2 years older than I, that was a phenomenal photographer. He was a journalism major in college, and he and I both shared the fascination with photography. And he got me to take a couple of photography classes, and that's how I learned to shoot, was with black and white film photography, and doing all the manipulation in the dark room, and going and developing your film, developing the photos, and learning how to manipulate the cameras in manual mode, because that's what I learned. In fact, I still have the camera that I used for that class, my first class, and Pentax K1000. And so the thing about black and white is black and white takes all the emotion that comes with pictures, with color imagery, because color imagery, I see some people that post stuff in some of the forums and some of the galleries that I go to. They take a perfectly good picture and give it the Tammy Faye treatment, and that kind of it's like, yeah, I don't they put so many highlights and so much color manipulation in their pictures. It's like, I mean, that's okay, I guess, if that's your art form, but I'm not, and I don't mean to criticize. I sound like I'm being harsh, but I think capturing what you see, that's kind of my way of seeing that, and manipulating the camera to catch that, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But when it comes down to it, black and white it isolates the subject matter. And Ansel Adams was somebody that I studied when that was my guy that I looked up to back in the day. And when you capture the full range from black to white in your images, and you capture everything in between, because that's what you should have in a well captured black and white image, that highlights the subject matter of what you're trying to catch.
Mm-hmm.
Where color photography, the colors that you're looking at, and what you're trying to catch with the color, is what you should focus on when you're using color imagery, right? Because the the color can kind of obscure the subject matter sometimes.
Yes.
And that's part of the balance of that, right?
I agree. I totally agree because, sometimes I love about a black and white because you can just really focus on light and the shadows too. And it just kind of really just, it's like, here it is, and then you're right too. There's so many manipulations that you can put on it too. It's like not every photo needs to be an Andy Warhol, and I get that. Right. And I say that because he's very neon, right. And very pop. And then if that's what you're trying to go for. Yeah, you do you. That's awesome. But it seems like, but to be able to capture that rawness and to be able to see that, I think black and white has a tendency to really show you the bones, if that makes sense, right? But really brings out the contrast as well. But I love your naturalism in your photography. And I say that with true respect because it just is showing the magnificence of what you're seeing, the true light that's coming through here, right? And being able to use your camera to enhance the situation versus a filter.
Yeah. And I kind of, what I'd like to do is I'd like to go back to Europe with both kinds of cameras, because when I in this particular trip, all I had was a color camera, and wasn't a very good one. That was a long time ago. But going back today, I look at these imageries and I think, I need to go back and redo this, because there's a lot of things there that I really kind of want to catch. And urban photography is a little bit of a different animal. And this is, again, this kind of captures that perspective. I think this was, if I'm not mistaken, I think this is Rome.
I just wanted to say before we get on to, if you're planning a trip to Europe and you want, a group or you want a few people to tag along to enjoy that experience, you just let me know, because I don't know. We'll see, guys. I've been dying because I've not been to Paris yet. It's one of the few, places I haven't been. I don't know. It's kind of iffy, but again, going back to capture these things and capture the wonderful architecture and stuff like that, I don't know. But we're in Rome, and I just so obviously this line of modern with also behind, amazing, older archaeology and older buildings, right? I mean, this is phenomenal.
Yeah, there's a restaurant up at the end of this alley. Right? It's a different way of life that's there, and food is pretty spectacular too. I get that.
Right, all chemical free. Right. I know. I have been to a few places, and I'll tell you what, it is something totally different. But there's something about eating great food or having a wonderful espresso or having a beautiful glass of wine, and you're just sitting there enjoying, the world around you. It is really special. Fantastic.
Yeah. And the thing about it is, this is the first time I'd been to a place, or going to Europe. People drive scooters and motorcycles around a lot more, and it's kind of a cool way to get around if you live in that environment. I'd have one if I lived in downtown Philadelphia. I'd probably have one.
Streets are so narrow.
But it was kind of these things are just parked elbow to elbow, as tight as they could get them in there.
Right. Also, I see they're chained up for protection. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, it's kind of the life, right?
Right. But it's hard. It would be hard to get, we say American cars, and usually especially back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s and so forth, they were such huge cars, right? That just can't exist in a place like this. So everything is either very, very small cars, like your minis, your, Mini Coopers and things like that. And then being on bikes or having a motorcycle. Just a great way to get around and be able to enjoy all these little different nooks and stuff throughout the cities as well. Fantastic.
A lot of the roadways in those cities are very narrow, especially in Rome, because they were, originally they were horse trails, horse and cart trails.
Exactly.
Cobblestones, and they're not built for cars going both directions, 4 lanes wide. Scooters are an awesome way to get around.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Fantastic too. And it's also getting to experience that as well. You know, you're sitting there, it's almost like having a convertible, but not having a convertible, but you know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
enjoying the fresh air, having the sunlight on your face, whizzing around the little nooks and crannies of the beautiful city. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I'm glad.
One of the cool things about Paris,
Mm-hmm.
and it just made me think of this, right? Is when you go down on the tubes in Paris, down in the subway system, there's places where the gypsies will get down in there, and some, you know, they'll have this gypsy music that's playing down the subways, and it just echoes through that, and it's so cool, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
It's unique music,
Mm-hmm.
but it gives a whole different feel to the subway.
Oh, I bet.
It's
I bet.
kind of like in San Francisco. You used to go to Union Square. I used to go down and stay in a hotel in Union Square, and there would be a guy that would come out at night and play a trumpet. He'd stand on the corner of Union Square and play a trumpet, and
Wow.
it was just haunting. It was so amazing the way this guy would play the trumpet. And the last time I went, San Francisco's, this is a long time ago, and San Francisco's changed so much now. That guy probably get mugged, you know.
Right. Right. Oh, absolutely. Now, you know, but there's also this acoustics in there as well too that
Right.
just radiates the sounds of beautiful music. And I
Yeah.
wish that was still the
Yeah.
same way, but now it's just nowhere near that. But you know,
Yeah.
that's why I love coming to some of these different places, or you know, going to these little villages too, and you just hear people, they're just stopping, they're playing music, they're celebrating with their family, and you can hear it down the streets, and it's just fantastic. Gives you
Yeah.
a whole wonderful vibe.
Yeah.
I think I know where you are right now. Tell everybody where you are right now on this one.
Where is this?
Is this Rome?
This is the Trevi Fountain in Rome.
Rome, that's right.
Yeah. This is one of the statues at the Trevi Fountain in Rome. And I've never been to that. I mean, you could just sit there for hours and look at the detail of the sculptures in that fountain alone. I mean, you could get pickpocketed like 100 times.
Right. That's a terrible thing. I don't mean to laugh at that. It's so true. You got to put things, and I guess women are lucky because you have places that you can put things inside, you know. But, you know, I learned that. I learned that in New York too. I'd always take a little billfold and right inside my shirt, right, and you know, making sure things were protected. But that's sad. But you know, and it's just so many people want to go to see this. But I mean, I have an idea. I would love to see. Well, you know, I would love to see Rome for the, you know, the ancient architecture and so forth, but I'd rather go to a village if I'm going to actually stay and enjoy, you know, go and see the things, but then go stay in the smaller village. I'd like to see Greece, and I'd like to see, you know, Paris. You know, I love to see the Louvre. I mean, you know, I'm an artist, right? I love to sit at a cafe and sip you know, espresso. But
so I used to work with a guy from Italy, and he said the best way to see Rome, and I agree with him, is to rent do like an Airbnb. Mm-hmm. in downtown Rome, or in Rome. He said the best way to do that is to go rent an Airbnb off the plazas. And back at that point, it used to be fairly reasonable because everything, you know, Rome's one of those places where you can walk. You know, you can either take a taxi or walk to most places, and there's so much to see, you know, and like going to Trastevere. The thing about staying in Rome is the food there is, there's so much to see, number one, but there's so much character in that place. Mm-hmm. So many different facets to it. And everywhere you look, and I don't know, there's another, one of the pictures I sent you was of a statue that was in the midst of a big wall. I don't know if you included that one, but that one, you're just walking past these, you know, you'd be on a narrow street and you walk past this entryway, and there's a huge courtyard, and there'll be these pieces of artwork that are, you know, sculptures that are built into these buildings. But a lot of those sculptures that you're looking at were actually sculptures at the Colosseum that have, or the water covers, the manhole covers for the sewer system in Rome from back, 1,000 years ago that have been repurposed as artwork. And a lot of the statues that you see around Rome that are built into these walls were actually the statues at the Colosseum.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that fantastic? And they're saving their history. I think that is, remarkable. They need to, so, and letting people enjoy them without it getting ruined or plundered or whatever. But right, I just think that's fantastic. I love it. Yeah, I was trained by some amazing chefs that were from Rome. Alfredo is a great place there too. It's where you guys get your Alfredo sauce. It's one of the few people that would come over to train me. I have wineries that I'll tell you what, when I had my restaurants, I had, I got my wineries from Sicily, and when they would come to do an event or whatever, it was just unbelievable. Here comes, the amazing Italians to show up. But it is something I've really wanted to go. Greece is another place too. Just right. Absolutely breathtaking places to be. And I love this. I think this is what we're talking about.
Yeah. So the thing I was going to tell you is that when you go to Rome, you go to these, you go to the back streets of Trastevere, right, which is one of the districts in Rome, and you go to the restaurants there, and you go in there, and that restaurant has been in the same family for 200 years, handed down from father to son to father to mother to, and it's so cool, right? Yeah. So this is one of the pictures as one of the places I was telling you about is this is in a courtyard, and like I said, you'd be walking down one of these narrow streets, and all of a sudden you look in, and there's this an archway that goes into this courtyard with these buildings around it, and you have this statue with a bench sitting in front of it. It's really cool,
right? I just think it is absolutely amazing. It's a bucket list, total bucket list, dream, one of these days. I just on the other side of the Mediterranean. I was over there in, the African area when I was going there, but that was just a beautiful trip that was kind of gifted to me as I won a huge award. But so I have not been to the other side of the Mediterranean, which I would just absolutely love, right? Who wouldn't? Yeah. Amazing.
And the thing about it is I was trying to capture the feel of that, right? In terms of what I was seeing there. And I don't, it's kind of a cool picture, but I don't know that it does it justice.
It's beautiful, right? It absolutely, because you captured the ones that are up top in the rounds, right? And then you be able to see the reliefs as well. And the trim, you caught everything. It just framed this so beautifully. I think it did it justice. I don't know what you guys think in the audience, but I love it. I think this is a fantastic piece, right? Just amazing. Oh, she's a little bit behind it. I think it's amazing. But too much beauty and culture, right? I would absolutely love to go, you guys over there. And Pill, they're just they're going, yeah, I would love to go see here, White Wings, and I would love to go see that. I'm like, right, just wouldn't we all just love it? I keep joking that we need to have an artist corner event, and we need to go to some place like this, and we think it would be really awesome. All of us would love to go. And see, Donna says so much history in this one photo. So I think I'm not the only one when I say you've captured this magnificently. So other people in our wonderful community is saying the same thing.
Yeah, it's a neat place. Like I said, and when you look at the layers on this, right, is those statues have all been repurposed from ancient Rome, right? And there's different layers of Rome that go back 1,500 years, 2,000 years.
Yes,
it's really kind of a neat place,
isn't it? I mean, it's just magnificent. And then when you really get up to it, because I've seen ones that 400 or 500 years old. I don't know if I've seen much older than that, but just to see these people that have done this with by hand, and the work and the flawlessness of it, it's just unbelievable. Bring back the sculptors.
Yeah, and that's one of the cool thing about going to Rome is the some of the sculptures that I saw were there, they look so real. I mean, they look like somebody just was frozen in stone because of the detail of the muscles and the veins and the expressions on the faces. Just it's really neat to see that.
I agree. Absolutely agree. You guys, this is one of the reasons I wanted to include these, because on a day like today, on the wonderful stress-free Saturday, I knew we'd all want to sit here and dream of going somewhere. And he just was like, "What, Anthony, you brought these amazing pictures." And I was slightly jealous because I was thinking, did you just come back from a trip? And you just but no, you guys, this phenomenal. This is the Parthenon. Look at this. Wow.
Yeah, so this is kind of a different perspective of the Parthenon, right? Because this is taken in Athens. We're standing in the streets of Athens, and it was really interesting when I was there, because at that point in time, there was a breakdown in the social structure. You saw a lot of the guy that. So what we did is we got off the boat. We hired a taxi driver to take us around, and because you didn't want to get on a bus, because if you got on a bus, the bus drivers were union, and if they took you to downtown Athens, because every day in downtown Athens, the Antifa protester, the equivalent, the precursors to Antifa, would go to they'd have these protests in downtown Athens, and you didn't want to get snarled up in traffic. And if the bus drivers got snarled up in those protests because they were union, they would just walk off the bus and leave a whole bus of tourists stuck in traffic. So the taxi drivers, and so standing here, we got a Euro. This taxi driver took us to his favorite Euro place. We got Euros because we were going to go cruise around and then go up to the Parthenon,
right?
And take pictures from different perspectives of the Parthenon, which is kind of cool. But Athens is an industrial city, and it's kind of a rough place, and shortly after I took this picture, we see the police guys with their riot gear. They're walking down the street like they're going to work, which they are, but they're like, "Okay, we got all our riot gear. We got to go gather up because the protest is going to start in about 15 minutes. So we got to gather up and go." And it was strange to see that and experience that. But the funny thing is here we are 15 years later, and we're seeing the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we are. Exactly. Beautiful countryside, beautiful history. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes you never know how safe it might be or might not be. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Worth it though? Worth it.
Oh, yeah.
You think so? Yeah. See?
Yeah, it's cool. The Euro is delicious. It was really good.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I would love it. Absolutely love it. Oh my God. Right. See, guys, why that I was sitting there doing his promotions. Everybody's like, "What's up with the boats today and the water, Lady H, and the hammocks?" I'm like, I just finished doing Anthony's promos, and Anthony's in PDF for today. Now you wonder why. Now you guys know. I'm like, oh, I would love to be here right now. Look at this.
Yeah. So that's in Rhodes, Greece.
Right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Kind of a neat place. Different. Rhodes is unique because if you turn around and look to the left of where this boat is, there was a bazillion dollar yacht that was parked there that was huge next to a fishing boat. It's kind of cool.
Right.
Interesting contrast.
Exactly. I guess you dock where you have to dock, I don't know if you get so much of a choice on that, but isn't this awesome?
Yeah.
Amazing. So obviously this is a vendor, right?
Yeah. He's selling stuff, I didn't go on the boat, but I guess he was selling seashells.
Mm-hmm. Wind chimes. And that's just really, really beautiful. I have something very similar to this, and it came from when I was in Cuba, and it just had the different, shells that come down was handmade in a village outside of Trinidad. But just love this kind of stuff. Absolutely amazing. Don't you guys? Everybody's ready to go to Greece now.
Yeah.
Right? What a cool boat. I agree, my voice. It is really cool, isn't it? Oh, absolutely phenomenal. Man, so beautiful. I think we're all ready to go on vacation after today. I don't know about you guys, but it would be wonderful, wouldn't it? Isn't this a perfect way to just take our stresses off and have a fantastic stress-free Saturday? I do too. I love how colorful, and that's the boat, and the wonderful shells that we see. And your eyes are going all over the place between the baskets and the wind chimes and right, the water. Look at the sky, just phenomenal. I love the reflection too off that boat in the water too. It's just a fantastic photo. Amazing. Dan, what was your favorite place to go? Paris, Rome, Greece?
It's kind of interesting because every place has its own unique. I can't say that I have a favorite. They're all very unique in their own way, and they're all very special in their own way. And that's the cool thing about it is there's different parts about each one of the places I've been that are very, very cool. The one place that I would say is an exception to that is Greenville, Mississippi. I don't want to be a hater, but there's a lot of strange things that go on in Greenville that I just don't appreciate very much.
Right. I've had more fuss in some of the states that, are in this country than I have whenever I've been, abroad. Just saying, guys, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
This almost looks like a painting from Bob. Have you seen Bob's Sunday paintings, right?
So Bob actually, I was right. I really enjoy Bob getting to work. It's very cool. I'm not sure where he lives in California, but he and I have been, and if you look at my photography and you look at his paintings, we've crossed paths many times in places where we've been. That's and right. This is one of the places, because this is in Santorini, Greece. And I don't know if you included there was a picture of a horse tail the horse was swishing his tail.
I didn't, but I can pull it up.
Well, yeah, you might want to, that one's pertinent here because as Bob knows, because I'm pretty sure that he went to Santorini based on the paintings that I've seen of his, is that when you go to Santorini and you get off the boat, you got to hike up the hill. There's three ways to get up that hill. Is you can either ride a donkey up that hill, you can take a tramway that looks like it was put together by a couple of high school kids, and you have to wait about 3 hours to get up that tram, or you can hike up the hill behind the donkeys. And the picture of the tail that I'm seeing is at the bottom of the hill before we go up following the donkeys. And those, you don't want to ride the donkeys up because the donkeys that haven't been washed for a while, and they have an aromatic smell to them.
Oh, it's kind of reminds me a little bit of the Grand Canyon, to be honest. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's kind of the same thing. Taking the donkeys down the trail. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to load up the one he's talking about so we can enjoy that. Here we go. All right. There we go.
Yeah, that's the one right there. That's the bottom of the hill. And you got to hike that thing and it goes straight up the side of that cliff. So, right. Because it's it's basically a caldera, right? Mm-hmm. But right. Yeah,
I do love it. I've had horses. Again, back to Cuba, I remember taking horses as we were going up through the canyons that they had there. It took us to this amazing little isolated little pool with a waterfall. Nobody else was there except, us. It was just beautiful. But yeah, you got to It's not the most aromatic trip, but it sure is worth it, isn't it?
Yep. Well, thing about these is they don't wash the donkeys there.
Wow.
And so, most of the horses I've been around, they get a hose down every once in a while and a good scrubbing, and I've taken, yeah, so, yeah, but that captures the walk up the hill pretty much right there.
Wow. I don't know. I still think it is so worth that, you guys, right? I would too. I want the first horse. I want to be right behind the guide. Oh, yeah. That is too funny. Too funny. You guys are amazing. But I'll tell you what, if this is where you get to go, it's 100% worth it. Sorry. Yeah. Absolutely worth it.
Yeah, Santorini is pretty cool. Yes. It's an interesting place.
I really love so much. I want to go to Greece so much. And every time I see these pictures and paintings from you and from Bob, I'm like, it just reminds me how much more I would really love to go, maybe even go see Greece, even over Rome, believe it or not, even over Paris, just because I want to be around that water. I want to see these beautiful. I saw something they did during Easter too, where they lined all of the rows with candles, and almost, it was just outlined the whole entire city at night for Easter, right for the Easter celebration. I was like, how beautiful is that? Yeah. So absolutely amazing. Amazing. Right? Yes. Too cool, man. Thank you so much for taking us on this wonderful journey. You are phenomenal, absolutely a phenomenal photographer. Look at this picture. Talk about be the light. This is something I say every single morning in my good morning. I have a post on Truth and a post on X. Be the light, and this one just so screams that, doesn't it?
Yep.
Where are we, my friend?
This is This is in Santorini as well. This is late in the afternoon, and that's what you're looking at is the Mediterranean. Like say Genesis 1:3, let there be light.
Mm-hmm. Right? That's right.
That's
my gosh.
Key. Light is being a biologist and understanding how light works in terms of our world. If we didn't have light, we wouldn't be here.
That's right. Right. It is so powerful to us. My husband, who's a nurse, has talked about this so much on our Thursday shows about what we get, the vitamin D plus more. It's like, Superman, guys, basically he gets his strength and his healings from the sun. We're not much different than that. I mean, we're very much needing the sun. And then, of course, always talking about, being the light of the world. I think that's fantastic. That's why I say that every morning, everyone, be the light.
Yep. Totally agree.
Look at that reflection. Look at that just beaming off the water. You're really making me want to go there.
Yeah, like I said, it's a cool place.
Oh, right. I knew it. You guys, I always save some. And I'll tell you guys, now everyone's like, this is my favorite. It's fantastic, isn't it? These are all amazing, but isn't this just, look at that. It almost looks like there's a cross coming out of that sun, how with the reflection, the purple coming down off of the top, radiating the pinkish purplish areas.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, I get tons of sunset pictures.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. I bet. Man, just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I'm glad you guys are enjoying these.
Somebody just made a comment. That's the one with the horses riding off in the sun.
Yeah.
Those are background. I absolutely love that picture. So whoever did that painting, I didn't catch who it was, but that picture with the horses, whether the cowboys riding off.
Oh, that's still Nancy. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's still Nancy.
I love that picture. That's one of my favorites.
Nice. She's the one that is always asking to paint your photos.
Yeah. Yep.
So she will be in touch with you, I'm sure, because she's already got 2 or 3 that she really loves. So
I'm happy to pass them on, because that's I would even exchange prints for prints on that. So
well, there you guys go. Right? You guys, I love the collaborations. Frosty, I know you're there too. You are a wonder when it comes to water. This might be up your alley as well, my friend. Just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I'm glad you guys love this one. See, this is what I'm dreaming of. This is me. I had to include this because I was like, this is me sitting at a cafe, drinking my espresso, enjoying the moments. Oh my heavens. Look, I just love it.
yeah. So the thing about this one is, bear with me for just a second here. So this is in this is in Italy.
Mm-hmm.
And this is
right.
this is the morning light, right? You get your cappuccino, right?
Yes.
And this is in Sorrento, Italy. And there's a bakery that's right on the main drag there. And you go in there and you talk about artwork. Is the pastries in the shop were just, I mean, just amazing. And the flavor that you have there, it's so you go upstairs and they have this room upstairs above this bakery. I don't know what you call it, but you can go in and get your deal, and most people get it and go out on the street, but went upstairs and there's this window that's looking out over the street, and the lights coming in, you hear the hustle and bustle of the city kind of waking up below you, and you're just sitting there having your coffee, and it's just very cool way to and I was trying to capture that with this picture here.
Right. I just love it. And I have a kind of like a funny story about this too, because you guys see the size of this. I keep referring to it as an espresso because you guys kind of understand that size, right? I think most of you do. It's not a lot, maybe an ounce, 2 ounces, not a huge amount, right? And so when I stayed in Cuba for 3 months with a family there, and this is what we got, and they call it coffee. And that's what they do. I mean, it's very, very strong, and it's no different in when Italians make it. And a Greek coffee is phenomenal too. But I'm drinking this like the same amount. I kept asking for more, because I'm used to, no offense, not this big, our huge mugs here, our 12-ounce, 14-ounce mugs, and they're looking at me like, you're gonna literally drink us out of a house and a home with the coffee. I didn't know that they were paying for the coffee is the same price. I'm like, doesn't coffee grow in Cuba? And they're like, yeah, but we still have to pay your prices for it. I'm like, what? And that's one of the reasons that they're doing that. But they just kind of sip on this, and I'm doing shots, That's how much I love my coffee, though, guys. But I love it. And this just makes me want to go there. When I saw this photo, I go, this would be me enjoying the morning, our wonderful espresso. And everybody I see in the chat too, yes, my voice, I want to be there too. So great.
It's kind of that kind of captured the feel of that. So.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Absolutely. Whoops, I can't spell. Yep, just telling them nice. Yep, yes. We all want some coffee. Now, tell me this one.
So this, and I had sent you a picture also of a guy on a horse. It was a statue of a guy on a horse. And I don't know if you include that one or not. It's kind of the guy on the horse. There was kind of a story behind that picture. Okay. This is the horse from a different angle. This is the horse's tail of Louis XIV. This is the horse that Louis XIV is riding on at the entrance to the Palace of Versailles. Nice. Which, when you put that when you put the flyer together for the show,
Yes.
that was the palace. That's the main entrance of the Palace of Versailles.
Mm-hmm.
And in front of that, right behind where I took that picture, is this picture, the statue of Louis XIV. And it's kind of a cool abstract picture of the sculpture.
And I'm wondering if I could be, could not, but I'm just wanting to make sure. So keep on talking. This is absolutely amazing because I thought this was very much a really cool abstract picture. And I was like, oh, you got to tell us about this. And so awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Give me 1 second, everyone. As I don't know if I have this or not, as I'm looking through his pictures for it. Let's see.
The thing about that whole going to the Palace of Versailles is it was one of, I understand now why they were cutting people's heads off, because that place was the most opulent place I've ever been in my life.
Right. And you're like, now you understand why they were cutting people's heads off.
Yeah. So what was her name? Let 'em eat cake.
Marie Antoinette.
Yeah, Marie Antoinette, right? She was one of the folks who go hang out at the Palace of Versailles.
Right.
And, the thing about it is when you go to the Palace of Versailles, they have these, and I have pictures of it. I didn't send them in this one, but the opulence of that place, back in those days, what they wouldn't go outside to use the bathroom. They would go behind one of the big doors. They'd have big ballroom doors, and the women would wear these big hoop skirts, right?
Yes.
Well,
they not said that to me.
Yeah, they would go behind the doors to do their business,
right?
And they would have people running around with buckets. I hate to be graphic, but
right,
kind of the, they would have people for that, right?
Right.
And so the walls on these places were covered with gold leaf, and the rock work was just the stonework in these places is just off. I mean, unlike anything you've ever seen. It's just stunning.
Right. Yes, it is. And you got it even listed as Louis Tell, but I am not seeing a single statue at all that you are describing. I just went through your pictures twice, and I don't know, didn't include that.
I might have taken that one out, but okay. This is kind of what it's at. And the statue is probably 15 feet tall.
Oh.
It's a massive statue.
Right. I don't doubt that. I agree, guys. I thought it was snakes too. That's what they're saying, right? They're like, oh man. Yeah. That's what it's really cool about this, because it's really neat abstract, right? I am with you guys. That's what I thought at first too. Very cool. Nope, it's the horse's tail. I don't know if you've been to the well, I'm sure. I don't know if you've been to New York to the sorry, give me 1 second. NYC, just responding here too. So the National Museum of the American Indian in New York City, out front are these massive sculptures, right? And they are 4 different countries of the world, or continents of the world is what they're called. And they're absolutely phenomenal, but they're massive. So when you go to see some of these and you're just like, and see the like I said, the sculptures, guys, that are all done by beautiful, hand done. Can you imagine? And that was like 1800s, 1800s. Can you imagine seeing something like this that is thousands of years old? How did they do that, right? Doesn't it make you marvel in the fact of how did they do that many years ago and was just so proficient? Probably because they get their heads chopped off and things like that. They didn't do it right, Right? Yeah. Oh man, amazing. Absolutely phenomenal, guys. Absolutely phenomenal. We are loving this. Oh, we are down to just a few more, everybody. But geez, the artwork. Look at this.
Yeah. So this is in Israel. And this is near the Sea of Galilee. And this is actually a Greek Orthodox monastery. And it's one of the coolest places in Israel that I could see. And it was interesting because it's like a 12 or a 15 acre facility, and it's all farmed. Mm-hmm. And the one monk that stays there basically oversees the maintenance and the farming. He oversees all the farming production. And you go in this place, when you pull into the driveway in this place, it was like there was something very unique about this place, because it was you just feel the peace that goes with this place. And he goes around, he spends his entire existence is to take care of the farmland and do all the upkeep on this building. And you go sit in this thing and you just feel like, everything just kind of goes away. It's just this very peaceful place. And the guy, when the crops are ready, the people from the surrounding community will come harvest it and help him do his thing with the harvest, and they get to keep part of it. And just kind of a neat system. But that's, again, it's the photo might not be all that special, but the place it's kind of trying to capture the feel of what this place is.
Mm-hmm. And it's, not too long ago. Even in places in Mexico with like Diego Rivera was like doing the waterways and, the aqueducts and stuff. It was just such a lost art, because this is what they would do. They would represent, what they were talking about or what they were doing in such wonderful fine form for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And now everything is just, cookie cutter. It's such a shame, because look at how beautiful this is. You can just see, every little speck of this is done so brilliantly. Sorry, I can't say that. Phenomenally. Let's say that word. Just how gorgeous is this, right?
Yeah. And what's really cool is if you go stand in the middle of that dome, and look up, it's three-dimensional. It looks like those guys that are standing around are all looking down at you. And the light, I don't know what it is about the lighting on it, but it looks like they're standing around. They have a gold sky above them, and they're all looking down at you. It's really cool painting.
It almost looks like it's got some gold leafing around each one of those too, and behind them, just making them reflect that way. It's just phenomenal.
Yep. It's very, very, again, if you ever get a chance to go there, I think it's the Church of the Heptagonon.
Okay.
I want to see that, but it's near the Sea of Galilee.
Beautiful. On the list. Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at Heptagonon. Okay. In Israel. There we go. Oh, I found it too, right? Church of the Multiplication, where Jesus is believed to have fed 5,000 people, right? It's really located next to the Sea of Galilee, guys. That is phenomenal. I just looked that up really quickly. How awesome would this be? Bucket list. So many beautiful places, right? Yeah. So many beautiful places and not enough time. Wouldn't you just love to be the world travelers? I know that I would. Absolutely fantastic, guys. I agree. Right. The light too, that's coming through the dome that just highlights everything. They were just masters in this. And so that's what Dot is talking about, with the different islets that are coming through to literally give focus on certain things in the room at certain times. Just literally a master of light, master of art. It was amazing. Master of architecture. Phenomenal, guys.
Just the feel of that place, though, there was just something that was very unique about that place.
Mm-hmm.
When you went onto the grounds and you stepped foot on that property, there was just something about that place that was just very, very different. There was a feel of it, just a presence that you get there. It's just like everything was lifted. And I don't know what it was. Just very unique.
It could be the fact that the Savior had walked through that area, fed the 5,000 in that area, so it was a blessed moment in time, a blessed land, right? It has a sacred quality to it. Maybe that's what you're feeling. Plus, with the enormous beauty of the artwork to create and highlight this, just gives you that reverence. Absolutely beautiful. I agree with you guys. Now, I don't know what this is, but this is so unique. It's almost like it's a grid or a grill over something.
So this is the doors at the what do you call it? It's a church at the Garden of Gethsemane, and it's looking out the doors. These doors are about a foot thick, and I would guess that each one of that's two doors that you're looking at, but it's the grating that you're seeing there it's brass, it's cast brass, and the doors literally are about a foot thick, and those doors probably weigh 3,000 or 4,000 pounds each. Wow! But the sculpture, I have a picture of the outside. This is inside looking out, but it was just stunning to see the looking through, standing in that church and looking out the doors like that. It was just certain feel to it,
right? I don't doubt that. I am just like amazed at how beautiful it is, and it's it's really gorgeous. And these doors usually are so big, right? I mean, several feet taller. Oh, is it the Church of All the Nations?
No, this is I don't know if that's what it is, but it's right there in the Garden of Gethsemane.
Okay.
In Israel, it's
right.
When you walk out the door of this church, you're looking right across.
Oh, okay, I'm looking.
Jerusalem.
Yes, I'm looking it up. It is called the Church of All the Nations. I don't know what it was called before that, but that is what it is now. Now I understand why I didn't include that. I really wish I would have known some of these things, but I didn't include that in your work. But you had a picture of the olive trees that went with it as well.
Yeah, that's literally where they captured Jesus.
Right.
And so in that garden, and those olive trees that that I sent you. Again, there's a little bit of story on it, right? It's not a special picture by any means, but that tree that you're looking at, those are 600-year-old olive trees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is special. Amazing.
Yeah, it was it was just a spectacular place, and going there was kind of an eye-opener. I mean, put everything in perspective, and you can look across and go see. You can go right through the Lion's Gate. What they call the Lion's Gate, where they took Jesus through before they scourged him and crucified him. And you could you walk out there and you turn around from where I took the picture of that tree and look across the gully there, and there's this big, huge, hideous blue mosque, and right in the middle of old Jerusalem.
Absolutely, just beautiful, right? I mean, and this is another thing too. Talk about not only history but sacred ground, and something that just I'm sure you feel a total a spiritual, sacred reverence being even in the zone. Right. I would hope that you do. I think that I would do, I would probably also be praying that I would feel that kind of connection. But can you even imagine some of the oldest trees that are around? And I'm so glad that they even kept them and protected them. I don't know if that would happen here. Let's chop it down,
Yeah. But it was kind of, those trees were like I said, these trees are only about 600 years old, but they've kept that going this whole time. But to stand in that spot and think about, contemplate what happened there, and the significance of that. You know, one of the cool things is when I was in Israel, I got to go see all those, the historically relevant places that were, you know, talked about in the Bible. And it was, it just kind of made it all very, very real.
Yes.
And gave you a
Yes.
different perspective of it.
I agree. And in fact, that last one was kind of the last one I was going to on my PDF, but I think this is the greatest one to even finish on because it gives us the beauty and the reverence. When were you in Israel? Just, I don't know if you told us, and I was looking at chat.
This would have been 2006, I believe.
Wow.
2005, 2006. So it's been 20 years.
Wow. I bet it was amazing. Oh, for those that are leaving, thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Just want to say that. Right, we are just enjoying this, and this just an absolute beauty. Another place that I would love to go. I mean, I'm a little worried about being kind of in that zone right now, but maybe in the future, once everything settles down and everything gets calmer, wouldn't that be an ideal place to go and check out? Right? Absolutely beautiful.
I encourage it. Israel's a neat place to go.
Absolutely amazing. This is fantastic. Just fantastic. You are an unbelievable photographer, and your artist eye is fantastic. And I literally just thank God that he blesses so many of us with this talent to be able to locate, to notice, to stop, to appreciate, to create, to, you know, take photos of it, because this is, I think, true talents that he gives us. And you demonstrate those talents with such glory, my friend. It's absolutely phenomenal, your art and your photography. I am so glad you are in our community, and that we are so lucky because we are the ones that are spoiled to get to see this all the time.
Thank you.
Amazing. What is your journey next? I know that you've been super busy, but is there something that you've kind of been like, you know, that's on the back burner that you've like, I want to go here and take photos? You have anything that you've been thinking of?
Well, so now that my wife is getting out next year, hopefully right after the first of the year, we're going to go to Argentina. And there's places there that we're still kind of on the bubble. We're looking at either Costa Rica or Argentina. My preference is Argentina, because there's some places down in southern Argentina that I've kind of seen vicariously through other people's photography, and kind of that I really want to kind of go do my own thing there and see it through my own eyes, and bring that back.
Right. Costa Rica, I've been there. If you want to see a botanical garden of forestry, it is absolutely something beautifully done, you know. But I want to go to Argentina too, because it's a place I've not really ever thought about. But my father, who was in the Navy, got to go there many, many times. And he's like, that is one of the most beautiful places on earth. And he's like, and the food, the beef is phenomenal. I'm like, okay, Dad, right? You know, so I'm with you. And that was in the bucket list. I'm like, I would love that. And now that it's, you know, in really great hands, that would be a great place to go.
Exactly. Right. And that's, and then the other thing too, is I kind of want to go spend more time in that Four Corners area, you know, in the Utah, Western Colorado, that geography. There's a lot of places there that I haven't fully. I want to go back and explore that some more. So, you know, Banff, Canada, New England in the fall. That's one place. You know, I have a bucket list, and one is the spring storms in Nebraska and Kansas, because there's just so much power there. You know, New England in the fall.
Wouldn't it? Right.
Yep.
Right. We all need to go bug Frosty. He lives in Maine, right? I'm telling you, we're coming in the fall, dude.
What part of Maine? I'm curious, because I had a sister that lived in North Whitefield.
Frosty, if you're still in my chat, you can tell us. I think it's in the northern part, but What part of Maine, Frosty? He is. I know he's there somewhere. Give him a second to respond. They're kind of on a 10-second delay or so, but he'll let us know. But I believe it's in the north part.
Go down to Mr. Heaney's telephone pole and check in Maine.
Right? I know that it was just seriously snowing not too long ago. He says Brunswick mid-coast. That's what he says.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Penobscot and all those cool places. I learned how to sail in Maine when I was a kid.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Wow. I love it. I you got me thinking for two. I think what I would love is Greece is one, but Argentina is definitely one I've been thinking about as well too, especially since my father recommends it so highly. And I got to meet Mille really quickly. I was at a CPAC and I got to shake his hand and say hello, and he was just really friendly. But awesome. I love what he's doing.
Very
right,
cool.
Right. It was really cool. But I love what they're doing, and be able to be celebrated in a country without fearing. That's why, no offense, but until they settle things down, who knows where a missile's going to fly, or how they're going to retaliate. Yeah. So, but
and that's part of my decision to go, or desire to go there, is because it's taken such a U-turn. He's done such a fantastic job of that. Mm-hmm. The other place is El Salvador.
Yeah. Oh, now that is all good.
Yeah. And my wife and I have talked about that too, is going there, because that's kind of it's a beautiful place.
And you never know. You might not get another chance. I mean, who knows? I mean, kids flip back. You never know if something, he's done really, really great, but you never know when a corrupt government's going to come in and take somebody out and say, no, we want it back this way. So go and grab it while you can. I'm praying for Cuba right now. After being there for 3 months, I love the people. I love the architecture and the ancientness of that. I mean, we're talking 400, 500-year-old buildings and stuff. It was amazing. But to be able to go back there with freedom this time,
I love the music.
Yes. Everybody dances, like you're talking about with the corridors earlier. You'd be walking down on cobblestone roads, guys, and you're hearing everybody playing music and everybody kind of dancing it. I mean, Cubans, they hear music, they dance. They might grab you and dance. Everything was organic food. It was unbelievable. Avocados the big as my arm. You're like, oh my gosh, right? So
I'd go to Cuba just for the music.
Yes.
Just to hear the music, because
it would be amazing to go back there. So let's inspire people before we leave tonight. I know you're an amazing photographer, and I'm not asking everyone to be that, but I think we need to notice what is around us, right?
Yep.
So what would you say to inspire people, even if you're taking pictures with your phone or just noticing? What was your words of wisdom?
Well, God created a very beautiful world, and there can be a lot of really things to get you down in the world. But if you just stand in one spot, generally, if you look around you're anywhere you're at, you can stop and look around you, and you're going to see something that's fascinating, that's beautiful, that's got a lot of color, that you never know what it is, but it can be something that's so small that you can barely see it. But if you focus in on it, you'll see that. And so part of that, part of the unique thing about photography is being able to look around you and see the things that you do inspire you or inspire some kind of feeling. And if you focus on that, that's the beauty of photography. And I think that's something that we all should try and do a little bit more, whether you get a camera in your hand or not. I think it's a powerful way to look at life. One thing is, people kind of get caught up in things, and if you can get caught in that doom spiral, but if you focus on the positive things in life, it can always be worse, no matter what you look at it, whether it's your personal perspective, whether it's the world around you, your finances, it's whatever. If you find something positive to focus in and kind of look at that and follow that, you wind up sharing it with others, and then it turns into something really powerful.
I agree. Oh my gosh. Amen. Amen to that. All right. It's just, it always could. So relish in those moments, right? Bring back photo albums, print them out so you often, look at them and enjoy them. Print one out, put it in, put it up, enjoy those kind of things because, right. That's something I was just, again, going through flash drives going, oh, I remember taking that picture. I remember taking that picture. It gives us a wonderful thing instead of having thousands on our phones, just to be able to actually look and relish in those kind of moments. But it just also reminded me, I was walking around, I was enjoying this moment. I was out at this place. And maybe even reminding me to do the same in the future, like get out, go see and go do, right? But you are amazing.
One of the cool things is that's kind of what I did to prepare for today is I went back through some of my older albums and I got to looking at things and I thought, there's a lot of those moments where I focused on really, really cool things. And I think that's been pretty fortunate in that regard. So,
right. Yes, you have. Yes, you have. Go ahead.
A neat ride.
Yes. I'm glad. And isn't that the greatest thing to say too? Before you left this earth, you got to enjoy the earth. Right. See the marvels that have been created.
Yeah. And, probably the more important thing is to try and live a life that follows that path. There's some really good guidelines have been handed to us. So all we got to do is follow those.
That's right. That's right.
That's probably and part of that is learning how to appreciate the simple things around you and doing right.
Right. The simple things around you, because you don't need to go to Greece to realize that you have an amazing scenery right outside your front door. Usually,
exactly.
Right. And so I am thrilled. You can come back anytime. I love having you. I could, it's always a total honor to have you on the show, my friend. And I am excited to look at your wonderful work today.
I appreciate it. I've always got more stuff. So.
All right. All right. I'll bug you. I mean, I'm already now booking for June. It's crazy. So I'll be bugging you in a few months. Be like, let's get you back. We'll look at another round because we love it. Absolutely love it.
Happy to.
Thank you so much. Everyone say goodbye. Make sure you're following him on Truth and on X. On X, remember you put 13, right? Eyes above 13. And then on Truth is just eyes above. And go tell him how wonderful he is and share his work, please. And also this show. Let's have the whole world know how beautiful his work is.
So, appreciate all the comments and all the kind words today. Very much.
Yes. I do too, guys. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate you. And Anthony, we will see you in the corner. And I hope you have a beautiful weekend.
You bet. Take care.
Bye-bye. Wasn't that awesome? I am so honored. How cool was that? I just love it when you guys come on the show. It's so much fun. He's such a fantastic photographer. I cannot tell you guys enough. If you are not in this group, you need to join this group, whether you're an artist or not, because you get to see this stuff every day like I do, right? There's so many talented people in here doing so many great things. Oh, it's just amazing. I love to start my day when I hit social media with the beauty. Sometimes I end my day looking at the amazing beauty of there too. When I'm on social media, I should say that. I don't really necessarily start my day or end my day with this, but when I hit the phone or if I want to go on social media, I go look at this amazing work that everybody creates. So you guys go check that out. We are on Truth and on X, and I am hoping that we can I might get us up on Pilled. So we are thinking about that too, sharing the amazing talents of everyone all over the place. You guys are fantastic, by the way, with your wonderful comments and compliments. I cannot tell you how much that means to me. I just think that you guys are fantastic. Let's do a huge thank you so much for Jurgen. That was awesome. Giving out subscriptions to you guys, gifting out memberships. That was so cool. Thank you so much, Jurgen, for that. And over there on Pilled, my gosh, it was unbelievable. We had amazing new guests over there. Mitchell DM27 with your cans and your EMPs. Unbelievable. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much for the support of the show. Most of all, thank you so much for joining me. I love that you guys come to be a part of my world, view the show. Your likes and follows are just absolutely phenomenal. I see it when you guys share my promos. I see it when you guys share the shows. And that is really, really special to me too, because it is really about getting the talents of my guests and whatever they're doing out to as many people as we possibly can. And I am really honored to have each and every one of these guests on. So I see that. I try to thank you guys as much as I possibly can, but I appreciate that more than anything in the world also, because it really is about beautifying the world or sharing a message, building a community. And you guys are fantastic for doing that. So tomorrow is the reset kitchen. And I have been cooking all day. I tried a new bread. It was supposed to be a cottage cheese bread with 3 ingredients. You guys will see how that turned out tomorrow. Trying to do these carnivore breads for you guys, figuring out how we can be grain-free. So I worked on this cottage cheese bread, and then I made homemade tomato soup to go with it. And so you guys, I love to can my own tomatoes, and I'm about ready to start putting in my tomatoes for the year as well too. So we're going to learn about how we can grow tomatoes and all great things and how good tomatoes are for us, making tomato soup from scratch and this homemade yummy cottage cheese bread. Yes, there's 2 different kinds. Well, 3 different kinds of cheese I put into this as well. And I hope you guys enjoy me for that. And I think tomorrow we might finish up with not only our words of encouragement about community and love for ourselves and each other, but we might even spend some time laughing at the wonderful comedy thing, that dry humor comedy channel I found, because laughter is truly a great medicine, right? So I hope you guys all join me tomorrow. I'll be posting out the show right after this one, and have a snack. Bring a notebook and a pencil. I love it when you guys try new things, and I love it when you ask me to cook things for you guys. That's always really fun, because on Thursdays we want to give you the help, to heal your body, and on Sundays we're going to show you how to cook great things and also how to feed our souls as well. So you guys want to find out about all of that's going on, you guys can do that by following me. And you can follow me on X at LadyHamiltonAR1. You can follow me on Truth, Gabbed, Pilled, Facebook, Ladyhamiltonart. And let's give some love to this amazing team for all that they do, as well to share out amazing promotions. I appreciate you. And they joined us in the chats, whether you're an X, YouTube, Rumble, or Pilled. Let's give them some thank you, starting with the amazing JJR SVL, who's out there doing great things with his family every once in a while. That comes first, family first. We love our JJ. You guys can follow him on Truth, X, Pilled, Getter, and Rumble. You guys, let's give some love to Tri-Stater. You follow him on X and on Truth. Our Frosty, who's been bouncing all over the place tonight. Thank you so much, Frosty. You are the greatest. Please that's Nancy. Sorry, Nancy, who's also over there on YouTube, who's handling things on YouTube. Thank you so much. Let's give her some love on Truth and on X. Now this is Frosty. He's been bouncing on all 4 channels. Thank you so much, my dear friend, for joining us. And you guys give him some love on Truth and on X as well. Okay, guys, we're leaving tonight with a song that is going to let us bounce, and have a happiness in our heart, a snap in our fingers, a tap in our toes. We love this group out of our amazing Artist Corner family, the wonderful My Troubled Days. I love this song. It leaves us in a great note for this amazing stress-free Saturday. I thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you guys join me tomorrow for the Reset Kitchen at 7 p.m. And I thank you, every single one of you, for blessing my life, coming to my shows, and let me be a part of your world. Have a great night, everybody. Be blessed, and don't forget to be the light. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow.
distant time, sitting around, laughing with you. I miss you more than I thought I do. This one's for you. This one's for you. And all that you do when I look, when I look, when I look, I see who you are. I see who you You give and give, oh, never wanting back. My heart, it sings with you. So sing it with me, sing it true.